What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonale Veloce. Huge thank you to Ben Hailstone over at Safford Alfa Romeo of Tysons Corner, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Tonale or any Alfa Romeo product, then I'll be sure to have Ben's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, well, just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonale Veloce, and this particular one's been painted in the $660 Misano Blue Metallic. Now, this one being the Veloce, as standard, you get LED tri-lobe headlights with automatic high beams, as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. Now I'm going to take a step to the left and give you a front-on shot of the Tonale. Very interesting design for a vehicle here in the United States. But anyways, this one being the Veloce, you get the gloss black front grille with the Alfa Romeo logo and the satin black grille surround. You may notice that beneath your Alfa logo, you will find a forward-facing camera, and that is because this particular one's been optioned with the $2,000 Active Assist Advanced package, which gives you that forward-facing camera that works with your 360-degree view camera system. Now, also included in that package are the 6 forward-facing sensors. Now back to the stylistic traits up here at the front end. If you come down just a little bit, you get the gloss black lower grills with that satin black front chin. You also get the outer bumper venting, and the Veloce gets 5.6 inches of ground clearance. Now here's a front 3/4 shot of this thing. The design language reminds me very much of the Dodge Hornet, but you did not hear that from me. Coming on down the side, you get the gray painted wheel arch moldings. Alfa Romeo likes to call these the dark maroon painted wheel arch moldings. However, in certain lights, they look black. In other lights, they look gray. Right now, they are looking gray to me. You also get the same gray Veloce coloring for the Veloce lettering on both of your front fenders. Now, this one being the Veloce, you get the adaptive suspension as well as the 4-piston Brembo brakes. Now, in front of those brakes, these are the standard 19-inch diamond cut 5-hole wheels that are wrapped in 235/45 Falcon ZX CT60 all-season tires. I'm going to give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick. And then if you are not a fan of the way that these wheels look, there is one other wheel option. Now, as standard with this trim level, you get rain sensing wipers as well as gloss black mirror caps with integrated turn signals. You also get the Italian flag there as well. Now, as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, power folding, and you will find your blind spot monitoring on the outer left-hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the outer right-hand side of your passenger side mirror. Now, as mentioned a little bit ago, this one's been optioned with the Active Assist Advanced package, which gives you the auto-dimming exterior mirrors, as well as you will also find the cameras on both of your side view mirrors, and those cameras work with your 360-degree view camera system. Now I'm going to take a step back and give you a side profile shot of this thing. Now this area right here, like the rear door, reminds me of the rear door on the Volvo XC40. I know, kind of odd to just throw that in there, but that's just what it reminds me of. But if you can't tell, you get the gloss black window trim. You also get body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind, however, the keyless access function is only on your front 2 door handles. The rear 2 door handles do not get the keyless access function. And then found at the bottom of all of your passenger doors, you get that gray door cladding. Now, one thing that is interesting about this is that this is a plug-in hybrid. So with that in mind, you get your charge port here on the driver's side, and that reveals your J1772 charge port. I can open it up. There's a better view of what that looks like. And this vehicle accepts level 1 and level 2 charging. Up top here, you have your gloss black shark fin antenna. You also have your body color roof spoiler, and LED taillights come standard. Here is a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. Now I'm going to take a step to the right, give you a little booty shot of this thing. Very exotic-ish looking back here. I like the hips, I guess you could say. It's a nice design. I almost like the design back here better than I do in the front. You can see you get the silver Tonale lettering, and then at the bottom of your liftgate you have a backup camera, and this thing does come standard with a hands-free power liftgate. If you wanted to open up the liftgate, all you have to do is have the vehicle unlocked or your key fob in your pocket, put your hand right to the right of the backup camera, press on that pad, and the liftgate will open up. Now, not that much storage space back here. You can fit what you need to, but it is, you know, relatively small. You also get a cargo cover up top here, so when the trunk is closed, people can't see what you have in the trunk. You also get a 12-volt power outlet on the driver's side of the trunk, followed by a light. You get the same light on that side, both of which are halogen. You also get some pass-through storage space here if you need to send your skis through. And underneath all of this stuff, you get a little bit more storage space. You have your tire inflator kit. I would say in this storage area right here, you could fit your jumper cables, maybe a set of shoes, something like that. But really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on in the trunk area. Now, you also have these two buttons right here. That button is to lock the vehicle. That button is to close the power lift gate. All I want to do right now is close the lift gate, and that is the speed in which the lift gate closes back up. Now, we're going to finish things off here at the rear end. So you can see you get the gray painted lower bumper, which is what this piece is right here. Now, with the Active Assist Advanced package, you also get 6 parking sensors back here. As standard, you get a dual exhaust system. And last but not least, you also have your fuel door here on the driver's side that you have to open up by pressing a button on the driver's side. But 87 octane will do you just fine here with this thing. And other than that, that's kind of about it for the exterior of the Tonale. It's a very small-ish SUV, about the same size, honestly, as the Volvo XC40. However, this one's got a pretty distinct design to it. If you're a fan of the design or not a fan of the design, let me know in the comments down below. I do like to see, you know, some variance here with the design language. You know, a lot of new vehicles now look very similar. This thing looks, in my opinion, very different from some of the other mid-size or smaller SUV offerings on the market. Let me know your opinions on that in the comments down below. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the 1.3 liter turbo inline 4-cylinder that works with a 15.5 kilowatt hour battery pack. Total output is 285 horsepower and 347 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 5.5 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy and electric range, you can achieve 77 mpge and you get 33 miles of solely electric range. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything thus far, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier, you get keyless access as standard, so all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock. You can also lock it if you press that button right there, and it will lock back up. This is what the key fob looks like. It's satin black with some silver accenting, and going over the functions on it, starting from the top, you have your lock function, your unlock function, your power liftgate function, your remote start function, and your panic function. If you wanted to remote start this, all you have to do is press this button twice and she'll fire right up. Remember, it is a plug-in hybrid, so now the interior is getting preconditioned without all the noise of the engine. But now, let's take a look at what the interior of this particular one has to offer. So this one's been spec'd with the $2,500 premium interior and sound package, which gives you the black perforated leather upholstery. I'll get more into that here in a second. We are going to start on our driver door panel. So at the top of the door panel, you get some vinyl wrapping. You have your unlock and your lock functions. As a part of the premium interior and sound package, you get the 3 driver memory seat adjustment settings as well as the Harman Kardon sound system. Now coming down just a little bit more, you have your power side view mirror controls right here. If you press on that button, that is going to power fold in or out your side view mirrors. You get automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. That button is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. Then all of this area right here is the faux leather. You get a nicely padded armrest, a little bit of storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle, and you get another speaker down here. You also get the brushed aluminum Alfa Romeo dorsal. I'm trying to pick that up on camera, but again, this is what these front seats look like. So as standard, you get an 8-way power driver seat with 4-way power lumbar. You also get an 8-way power front passenger seat with 4-way power lumbar. And as standard, you get heated front seats as well as a heated steering wheel. But now let's step on into the interior of this thing and see what this has to offer. So I'm going to turn the AC down just a little bit. We got to push this button right here, and now we have full access here into the interior. So what I'm going to do now is walk you throughout the entire interior, starting over here. So first things first, you get that circular HVAC vent. You also get a defroster for your driver window. You also get the same thing over there for your front passenger window. Now beneath this HVAC vent, you have these controls down here. So pressing on that button is going to pop open your fuel door. That is going to open and or close your power lift gate. Then you have your headlight control knob here. If you twist to the left, that is going to turn the automatic headlights off. You do that one more time, they're back on. So right now that is the automatic headlight position. Come over one, that is the parking light on position, and all the way to the right is headlights in the always on position. And then to the right of that, you have this scroll knob right here, and this is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. Now at the side, I guess side and bottom of your steering column, if you flip that down, that gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So you can push the steering wheel away from you, you can bring the steering wheel towards you, and it also moves up and down. And then once you find your comfortable position, all you got to do is lock it right back into place. Now let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like here on the Alfa. Now, not only is that your turn signal control stock, it's kind of an odd turn signal control stock. That's what I was trying to say. So you push it down, but it returns back to its regular position in the middle. So if you wanted to turn the turn signal off, you got to push up like that and it will turn off. So just kind of weird. Now, zooming back out, this being the Veloce, you get the steering column mounted paddle shifters. Very sporty looking. I love the way that these look. It adds to the total experience here of this thing. Definitely a big fan of that. You can see you also get a leather wrapped steering wheel, and as standard, this steering wheel is heated. If you come over to here where it says low, you get the seat in the steering wheel. You click on that, you get one level of adjustability there with the heated steering wheel. Now, this is what the steering wheel looks like any other vehicle. You have your horn at the center, so let's take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like here on the Alfa. Now, on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your active driving assist ready. So this particular one's been optioned with the $2,000 active assist advanced package, which gives you the active drive assist, basically kind of like semi-autonomous driving system. To turn that is to turn that system on or off. This is going to switch you between your different modes. So you have adaptive cruise control as standard, but you can also go into your active driving assistant, which is going to control the steering as well as your pedals down there. So adaptive cruise control, you still have to control the steering, but it will control the speed. Anyway, so basically here are your adaptive / active driving assistance cruise control settings. Pressing on that button is to turn the vehicle on or off. I think that is really cool that you get the button to turn the vehicle on or off on the steering wheel. I think that is pretty cool. And then coming over to this side of the steering wheel, you have your volume controls here. You can see you can scroll up and down, and then you also have this like page looking button. Both of those buttons are to control your 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. I'll get more into that here in a second. And then if you click on that button is to speak to the vehicle. It is also going to bring you into your phone screen on the infotainment system. And that you can pick up on a phone call with that as well. Now, moving into our digital gauge cluster. Again, this is a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. Right now we are in the N mode, which is like your normal mode. You get 3 different drive modes. I believe D is for dynamic, N is for normal, and A is like your electric mode. So this is what the screen looks like right now. Basically, you can see you have your speedometer over here. You see the little snake kind of like theme here with this thing, and you get the charge thing on the end of it like you plug into a wall. I think that is pretty cool. But basically, you get your speedometer. That is the fuel range. That is the fuel gauge. Then you get your time. That is for the automatic high beams on or off. Right now they are on. That is to letting you know if the headlights are on or off. Then you get your speed limit sign, digital speedometer readout at the center. That's letting us know that we are ready to go. We are also in EV mode. So when you see that EV down there, this is total electric only. And then over here, you can see you have your electric range over here. So you get full and empty. Right now we have 0 miles of electric range. So right now the electric range is empty at the moment. Now, if you wanted to control what you see on this screen, again, you click this button right here and then you scroll down. So right now that's the speedometer. You come down one, you get your navigation stuff, then you get your performance stuff, then you have the driver assistance stuff, the different messages. Right now we have low oil change, or low oil, or whatever, it says oil change ready. Then you got your fuel range, you have your battery range. That's like your combined range right there. Right now, again, we have 0 miles of electric range. Come down one more, you have your hybrid information, and then back to the digital speedometer readout. Personally, for me, I like this screen, but again, that all comes down to personal preference. Now, coming over to our infotainment screen, this is a 10.25-inch Uconnect 5 infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. So right now, this is what the Apple CarPlay screen looks like. If you wanted to go into the regular screen, you could click that phone button or that home button there, and that will bring you into your home screen. So as mentioned, you get heated front seats as standard, but this one being optioned with the premium interior and sound package. You also get the, again, perforated leather seats, and that also comes with the ventilated front seat function. So if you click right there or you click over here, that is going to pop up your different controls. So you can see you get your heated seat controls, 3 levels of adjustability, ventilated seat controls, 3 levels of adjustability, and then you also get your heated steering wheel there. That is standard. You have all of these different shortcut buttons on the left-hand side of the screen. Right now, this is the home screen. Then you got your media screen. You can pop up your comfort stuff, which is like your, you know, again, climate control screen. So you can see you get the heated seat, ventilated seat, heated steering wheel function, same stuff on that side. Then you get your temperature controls here, temperature control there, fan speed. That is what that looks like. Then you can pop up your navigation stuff, your Apple CarPlay stuff. If you wanted to go back into the Uconnect screen from the Apple CarPlay screen, you click that Uconnect app looking thing right there, and it'll bring you back into this. And then this is your vehicle screen. So you can go into your My Car stuff. You can go into the e-hybrid stuff, the performance stuff. You can also pop up your accessory gauges here as well, oil temp, trans temp, 12-volt battery. Then you got your different controls. You can pop up your 360-degree view camera system. Again, the 360-degree view camera system comes a part of the $2,000 Active Assist Advanced package. So that is what that screen looks like here. You can click that X up top there. Then you get your different settings. This is like, pay attention to like these shortcuts. So you can shortcut into navigation, camera stuff, all of these different settings screens. I'm not going to go throughout all of them. But then you also have your auto park brake, hold and go. That is basically a system in which like the vehicle will hold you in place by itself with its braking system. It is a useful feature. However, I wish there was like a physical button for that. It makes it easier to turn it on and off. Anyways, that's kind of about it for the screen. Easy to use screen. Don't feel like I need to spend too much time on it. Now beneath that, you get your 2 HVAC vents. You have your hazard button at the center. This thing comes standard with your dual zone automatic climate control. So you have your temperature controls on the outside. This is what the climate control stack looks like. You can take a look at that. Beneath that, you get a 12-volt power outlet. You get a USB-A port, a USB-C port, and you get a wireless charging pad as standard. This is an iPhone 14 Pro Max, one of the bigger phones on the market, and it fits in the wireless charging pad, no problem. You get a light right there if the wireless charging pad does end up working. And then to the left of that, this one being the Veloce, you get the adaptive dampers. So first things first, I guess you could say, if you go all the way to the right, that is going to turn your traction control system on or off. So if you twist and you hold, that is how you turn the traction control system off. So you can see off, off, ready to go, and it also highlights in red. So if you go into that D mode right there, that is dynamic. So that is like your sport mode. So you twist to the left, this is going to turn the adaptive dampers on or off. So right now we are in like the sporty damper mode. You turn that off. Now we are in just the regular damper mode. Now if you twist to the left, you go into N, that is like your normal mode. And if you twist all the way to the left, that is your advanced efficiency mode. However, we cannot go into that right now because the battery has 0 miles. So anyways, you get your DNA, different drive modes, 3 different drive modes. And then that is to turn, again, the adaptive dampers on or off. So when that is lit up in red, that is when you know you are in the, hard dampering mode. So it's ready to go around some turns and stuff. But when it's not highlighted, it's ready to just cruise. Now, again, you get these fancy steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. So if you wanted to use them, first things first, you got to go into drive, flip this over to the left, and then you can control the transmission with the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. This is to volume up, this is to volume down, and if you just click on it, that is going to mute the audio system. You get an electronic parking brake. You get your e-save button right there. So basically what the e-save mode does is that it uses the engine to keep the battery at a specific charge level. So that is what you do if you want the battery to be at like you know, full charge. That is what you do with the eSave. That is your parking system. So this will parallel or perpendicular park you into a parking spot. But in order to get that middle button, you have to opt for the $2,000 Active Assist Advanced package. Again, gives you the parallel and the perpendicular park assist. And then also this button right here comes a part of the Active Assist Advanced package, which gives you the front and the rear sensors. So that is to turn your parking sensors on or off. You also get 2 cup holders here, a nicely padded armrest. If you open up the armrest, no connectivity down in there. It's probably 10 inches deep, however, but very small console space down in there. Now coming over to here, you do not get a lockable lower glove box, but you get a very good amount of storage space in that glove box. This is what the passenger side looks like. Up top here, you get an auto dimming rear view mirror. Then you get your driver light, your passenger light, both of which are LED. This is going to turn on all of the interior dome lights. This right here, I'm not quite sure what that does, but I think that is turning on the second row passenger light back there. So if I click on that button, it's turning on the dome light for the rear passengers only. So that is what that button does right there. Then you get your roadside assistance button, and then that button is whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the doors. Now this particular one's been optioned with the $1,200 sunroof, so you can open up the shade by clicking on that, and then you can also slide the sunroof with these controls here, and you can tilt the sunroof by pushing on that right there. So I'm going to tilt it, I'm going to push on that, and you can see the sunroof will tilt open. Press that button again and it will close right back up. And then if you click open, that is going to slide the sunroof open. And while that is going on, I'm going to show you this. You get your universal garage door opener. Opening the visor up, you get a vanity mirror, a vanity light, a spot you could set any small little paper product here and here, and then the visor slides in and out for when the sun is in those awkward positions. Now this is as far as that sunroof opens. Will it go anymore? Nope, that's as far as it'll go. And that is that. Driver gets a no poo panel, as you may be able to tell, as does the front passenger, and that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in these front seats. Now, I wanted to mention that I think these seats are kind of on the firmer side of things. However, I have no problem fitting in these seats. I think even if you were like 220 pounds, you still have no problem sitting in these seats. The bolsters are wide, so they can accommodate, you know, a larger person. But now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen, and you can take a look at everything that you get as standard. Take a look at the couple options that this one has, but basically I am just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonale Veloce is spec'd is $55,950. That is a ton of money. You can let me know your thoughts on the pricing of this in the comments down below. All I can say is oof. I do want to show you though what we got going on in the rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. So opening this up, there is one thing I want to show you though before this. So you can see on the rear door you get that snake with the charge thing. I think that's pretty cool. Anyways, automatic up and down windows back here. Let's see how far the windows go down. Nearly all the way down, but not quite. Then you get a nicely padded armrest, fancy speaker up top here, another speaker down there, a spot you could set a water bottle. This is what your second row seats look like. Now we're going to step into the second row. So you do not get a no poop handle. Let's see, can you recline these seats or are they fixed? Okay, seats do not recline. You get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat. You get your 2 HVAC vents. You get a USB-A port, a USB-C port, 2 cup holders, a spot you could set a phone, nicely padded armrest, and you also get an LED dome light. Now I am 5'9" and I am adjusted behind myself. I've got probably 3 inches of leg and knee room. Here's another view of that leg and knee room. And when it comes to headroom, I probably have another, 2.5 inches of headroom left over. So, it's a smaller SUV, so you kind of expect it to have, not a ton of leg and knee room, but being 5'9", sitting behind somebody who's 5'9", no problems here in the second row. But we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of this thing. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, moving on to the driving portion of the video. This is dynamic mode. Take a listen. Sounds pretty decent for what it is. I like how it holds the RPMs. Handling wise, it handles very well. It feels very light on its feet. I love the resistance that you get when you let off the throttle. I like how it's holding the RPMs. This is definitely a dynamic mode for sure. Honestly, it's a pretty fun little vehicle to drive around turns. You know, I know that it is using the regenerative braking system to slow me down around or when I'm letting off the throttle, but it feels really good when you're letting off the throttle and you get that nice negative torque that you would get, let's say, in like a Lamborghini or something like that. You know, it's got that cool feeling. So, you know, it's an interesting vehicle looks wise, and you know how it works, I guess you could say. But for what it is, it's actually pretty cool. So I'm gonna go back into dynamic mode and I'm gonna put myself into manual mode. Now I love these steering wheel mounted paddle shifters that you get with this thing. And we're gonna test those out here. There is a little bit of a delay with the paddle shifters. I'm wondering if that delay goes away when you really get on it, which I will test out here in a second. But I really like the regenerative braking system that I get when I let off the throttle. I mean, it really slows me down. I love that when I have this thing in manual mode. I mean, that's definitely a fun piece to the driving experience. It works very, very well. I actually really like that. Excuse me. And it also has really good low end torque, which I think is due in part to the electric motor, giving it that instant just oomph when you hit it. So I'm gonna go into drive mode here because I think the vehicle's gonna do a better job at switching gears when need be. So I am just going to floor it now. It's got great acceleration. I mean, that feels really good. You know, it's actually a pretty darn fun vehicle to drive here in the Veloce format. I'm gonna put us back into normal mode here. I'm gonna pull off also right here, and I'm gonna put the D tag back on. All right, we are now back in dynamic mode. I'm gonna do a nice little acceleration out here onto the roadway with the paddle shifters. So we'll see how it does. Not floored, but quite close. Paddle shifters definitely got a little bit of a delay to them. I do wish that they were a little bit more responsive. Reason being is, you know, the vehicle feels like the paddle shifters should be very responsive. With the way that the powertrain is responding to my inputs, I feel like the paddle shifters really should just be spot on, and they're just, you know, they're about a half second off. You know, this is an SUV. It's not necessarily meant to be, you know, the full kill vehicle, but you know, this is the top dog trim level in the Tonale lineup. It's supposed to have that instantaneous, you know, paddle shifter response, but it's really not that big of a deal that it does not. I'm just pointing out my things. But I mean, for what this vehicle is, take a listen to what it sounds like cruising at 62. It's decently well insulated from the outside world. Now, I think this is actually a pretty good vehicle. Now, is it expensive? It is definitely expensive, but I like the way that the drivetrain feels with the hybrid system. You know, I've driven a Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, and that's also a plug-in hybrid, I believe. Maybe not a plug-in hybrid, but basically it is a hybrid system. But this hybrid system is actually pretty seamless. Like, I can't really feel like when I'm driving when the gas engine turns on and when the electric motor comes to play. You know, you can't really feel that change, which is definitely a good feeling. You know what I mean? It just popped on. I didn't feel it engage, so I definitely like that. It feels seamless. And if you are going for some sort of a hybrid, you know, you want that seamless feel. I don't want to feel that clunkiness, and you don't feel that with this, which I like. And one thing I also really like about this hybrid is that it gives you that just great low end torque when you're trying to accelerate. Like what I just did right there, it was effortless because of the low end torque and the electric motor really just pushing me on through when the engine doesn't have all that much power. You know, that electric motor is just pushing me to the acceleration that I want, and it feels really good. So I think hybrids are the future, especially good hybrids. Like, this is a very good hybrid system. It actually surprised me at how good this hybrid system is. It is seamless and it works very well, and that is why, you know, I think the future is hybrids. The future isn't electric, but the future is hybrids if you can make them act right. And this one, it's dialed in, you know. So Alfa, you did a great job here with the hybrid system in this thing. It feels super, super quick. Like when I get on it here, not like crazy, but you can just feel that like power down low. So if this thing had a full charge, I think it would feel even quicker. But overall, a fun driving vehicle. It handles phenomenally well. The hybrid system works very well. It's very seamless, which is great for a hybrid system. Definitely an interesting looking vehicle. I'm not quite sure how I feel about the looks of it, but it feels very sporty here on the interior. The infotainment system works very well. It's Uconnect 5. Uconnect 5 is a solid infotainment system. I love the digital gauge cluster. I love the graphics on the digital gauge cluster. And if you're looking for an Italian feel in your SUV, something that's fun to drive, fun to experience, maybe looks a little bit interesting, but maybe you dig it. I love that SV autobiography. I think that's what that is, or an SVR. Anyway, very fun driving experience. Very fun driving experience, especially if you go around some turns and stuff on the back roads. Very fun to drive. Sound system sounds pretty good. The infotainment system merges well with my iPhone. Not too many hiccups, which I definitely appreciate as well. And the seating position, me for being 5'9", I fit very well in this vehicle. I think maybe if you are a little bit taller, it might not be the most comfortable, but you know, I can't say that because I'm not tall. It fits well for somebody who is 5'9", average height. But yeah, that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything from the video, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you have any vehicles you want to see me review, let me know in the comments down below. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace!